In the past, divorce has been a major issue in America. Scratch that. Divorce is still a major issue today. Resolved that the United States federal government should enforce prerequisites in order for a divorce to be finalized. This debate rests on one key issue. Will adding mandatory requirements prior to divorce decrease the rate of divorce? We, the negative, are not saying that divorce isn't a problem in America. It is. DivorceStatistics.com states that 45 to 50% of all first marriages end in divorce and 60 to 67% of second marriages end in divorce. Is it me, or do you see a trend? The majority of these people most likely have divorced to what the affirmative would like you to believe are soft reasons. DivorceNet.com states that irreconcilable differences are the most commonly used ground for divorce. Irreconcilable, defined by Oxford American Dictionary, are points of view that are so different from each other that they cannot be compatible. At first, the affirmative's plan to add prerequisites to divorce seems like a good one, but as one will see, they are only trying to heal the wounds of an already beat-up marriage. By adding prerequisites such as divorce and marital counseling, they are only trying to fix the soft issues that can have easily been fixed before a marriage has started, resulting in the undesirability of their plan. The affirmative argues that divorce is the most detrimental thing a child can go through. My partner and I agree. It can be detrimental to children, but sometimes it can be beneficial to them as well. What the affirmative is forgetting is that in some cases, a child involved in an unloving family can be harmed and as detrimental, or even more so than a family who ended in divorce. This is when my opposing team's plan becomes unworkable. By putting regulations on who and who cannot divorce due to the intensity of their issue, children can be forced to stay in an argument-provoking household whose issues rest on so-called soft reasons. The affirmative fails to believe that these soft issues, such as lack of compatibility, lack of communication, and not seeing a spouse as often, cannot lead to serious issues. Can often lead to serious issues, which can be an unhealthy environment for a child to be in. CQ researcher quotes Constance Aarons of the Council of Contemporary Families as he expressed, "We know that a high-conflict marriage is very bad for children, that they suffer great distress. In many cases, the couples in trouble try to stick it out. Someone eventually has a real crisis and gets involved with someone else, and everyone ends up suffering even more. If a marriage is not working due to any circumstances that can ultimately hurt everyone involved, they should be allowed to divorce without any prerequisites." A second argument the affirmative presented is that with the current ways of divorce, a marriage is too easy to get out of. People know that they have an escape out of the marriage they're tired of, and that's divorce. But let's face it, times have changed, and so has marriage. This past May, New York Times published Sabrina Transversi's article, "Married Couples Are No Longer the Majority." In the recent article, it explains that the Census Bureau states that as of 2010, only 48% of American households were represented by married couples. Due to this, less people are marrying because people can take care of themselves, unlike past decades. Marriage can be a financial burden on families, and if you would like to think they're leaving a marriage because they're tired of it, understand this. These people are tired of the burden it is to take care of a larger family that can cause fights to arouse. Along with this, more families are divorcing because they have a respect of what a good marriage should be. In essence, those that are divorcing due to the soft reasons are not insulting the breaking of the vows or commitment of marriage, which it stands for, but respecting them. If a couple believes that they cannot care for or be devoted to their spouse, they should be allowed to divorce, not because it's easy, but because it's the right thing to do. Another point of the affirmative is that the divorces whose arguments rest upon soft issues are too frequently attained and could easily be resolved with prerequisites such as marital and divorce courses. My partner and I would like to refute this argument with our counterplan, to require a premarital prep course and counseling in order for one to be married. Even today, these courses are used and are effective. Brittany Krim, a cooperation associated with the counseling group, reveals that premarital preparation can reduce divorce by 30%. Our plan is similar to the Prepare and Enrich, a very effective premarital plan found in many states and expressed in CQ researchers Charles Clark's analysis of marriage and divorce. We would require these couples to attend this course to help reconcile issues, learn to communicate, and overall help strive for a long, happy marriage. The cost of these programs as of 2006 ranged from $360 to over $2,000. We understand that these prices may have raised during the past couple of years, but we would try to lower them because in reality this prevention is a lot less costly than divorce. If you think this is impractical, think again. Alan J. Hawkins, a professor in Birmingham Young University School of Family and Life, states in his Journal of Law and Family Studies, the 6 states of Florida, Maryland, Minnesota, Oklahoma, Texas, and Utah already passed legislation to enforce couples to participate in premarital counseling classes, and they have been working. In Utah alone, there is a 10% drop in divorce, and they saved $2,268,500. In conclusion, the affirmative plan is neither desirable nor workable. By putting restrictions on those who and who cannot divorce, they are only causing more damage to the couples that have soft reasons that can escalate into more concrete ones. No matter the issue, if couples are unhappy with their marriage, they should do what they please with it, even if divorce is the only way. It will also benefit them financially, as divorce can be astronomically expensive and expensive for the state, while our premarital counseling is cost-friendly. John Wooden, a basketball coach, once said, "Failing to prepare is like preparing to fail." Although he uses to inspire his athletes, it can relate to marriage. Failing to prepare for what's thrown at couples during marriage is just going to end up in the marriage a disastrous one. Our plan will prepare couples to understand one another and to have greater chance in striving in a well-structured marriage. Don't force what to be divorced, vote negative.